It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
To get this one started, and we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Ole Miss.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll start with a run by Tracy. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. That's caught downfield by Neighbors. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 36 yards on the play.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch. And the two of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 3. Now back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
The lessons will continue, but this rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
Send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? But a long one, and he can't connect. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Off the play fake, Mariota. Flush to his right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Tough spot here, third down and 11. To throw Mariota. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games too? Ah, what the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on, because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Play fake. Mariota. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, one of the things we talked about coming into this was that we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Running out of the gun with Etienne. And able to work his way down to the 16. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
3rd and 3. Now Mariota. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And Gay knocks this one through. And it's 3-0 Washington. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Tracy going to get it on first down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set. 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, And one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This one is Slayton over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. A starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd and 9 now. Catch made by Slayton. Will go down as a gain of 6, and now it's 3rd and 3. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. From MetLife Stadium, the Giants with the football. They'll come up now 3rd and 3 as they've got it as we resume action. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Giants have taken the lead.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. So he missed his lone field goal try, but he's got this one as that extends their lead. That Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Now we've got an injury stoppage, so they're going to halt everything, and all eyes focus on the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. Hopefully he's okay.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Rolling to his right. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
On third down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now as he gets to the first down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 36. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
2nd and long. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Looking to throw. Johnson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Bobby Okereke running in and bringing him down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense has 99 yards to go to the other end zone.
And defense is frothing at the mouth with a chance to get points themselves. If they tackle a runner in the end zone, safety. And if there's a holding call in the end zone, that's also a safety as well. So either way you decide to go on offense, you've got to be careful.
And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. There with a tackle, Dietrich Wise Jr.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
3rd down and 1.
He'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And Robinson, the motion man right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Dorrance Armstrong in on the stop.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8.
The slot man in motion right. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Here's Johnson with a reception. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 26-yard line.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Here we go on 2nd and 12. That ball caught by Slayton. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then. And now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants.
Malik Neighbors
from 6 yards away.
And the Giants drive the entire length of the field, 99 yards for the score. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Here's Johnson throwing to start the drive. It's complete to Brown, right side.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Operating from the gun, Johnson. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Flushed out right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now 2nd and 9.
Operating from the gun, Johnson. This to McLaurin out on the left side.
The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts
as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
The sticks.
Johnson from the gun on 3rd down. Being chased out. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard. But more importantly, it leads to 4th down.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
Offense at the line and ready to roll.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Off play action, Johnson.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here's Tress Way now as he's on to punt for Washington. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
That's complete to Slayton.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They'll line up on 2nd and 4.
They'll hand it to Tracy.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
He's got this complete to Robinson. Now he's loose down the middle of the field.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Wan'Dale Robinson.
60 yards.
And the Giants are able to widen their advantage.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Gano now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was finished up by a touchdown catch from Wan'Dale Robinson.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Johnson now throwing to start the drive. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
The first carry for Jeremy McNichols. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Johnson.
Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down.
And a key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3 and out. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
And McLaurin, the motion man right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
On second down, ETN once more.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
But these guys going to chop into that deficit? They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line.
The Giants offense and their quarterback ready to go once more.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Giants drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10.
Offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
2nd down and 3. On to give, it's Tracy.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
Left side, he's got Robinson.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 10 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On the run is Tracy.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
That's complete. It's Neighbors.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
A loss of 5.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here at MetLife Stadium, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. Here's Jamie Gillen now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. This is taken at the 23. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
The 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Johnson. That's caught. It's Chris Moore. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Johnson got a man. It's Brown.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
The Commanders went for it, but they could not pick up the first.
And that will force a turnover on downs. The D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play? Or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz. And in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
67 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
That's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride the offense this go-around.
Deebo Samuel.
And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 86 yards.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
Etienne going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Here's Mariota. Buying time to his left. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Marcus Mariota A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it makes the score 21-10. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back.
Oh, and I think Washington got it. Yes, they did.
Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
Mariota. And he will find his man, Samuel. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Commanders football as we get back to it.
They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing, Mariota. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Here at MetLife Stadium in full roar. 3rd down. Here's Mariota.
That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Only some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion.
Now Mariota.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
There is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts
as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. On the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And they'll be unable to build here onto their 5-point lead. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, fourth quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
10.
One last shot now for Mariota. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from MetLife Stadium.